Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining. It's good to see you.
Hello.
It's good to see you, Corey, or to have you, Richard and Teresa and Destiny and Isabella is joining us.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Too.
Fun. Thank you all for making it here. We'll wait one more minute and then we'll begin.
Awesome.
So good to see all of you. I see that
I
Chris.
can't hear you, Richard.
Yeah, no, Richard, we cannot hear you, but we can see your pretty haircut. That's true. I have some issue with the Author Nation website. I want.
Yeah, you might have to, people were having issues with it, and we like kind of reset the settings, but it might be like cached on your browser still as the old setting. So if you either like use a new browser or like incognito, or if you like clear your cookies, it should work. But let me know
Thank,
if not.
thank you. I really want to
Yeah.
make sure that I can send people like the reminder about today. Yeah, suspicious site blocked. Okay, I'll figure it
Okay.
out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
I was wondering if you won the lottery. I saw you back 20 campaigns this week.
I did, this is such a great thing, Richard, because it's thanks to Destiny. So this will be one of the news that we'll be sharing today. Hey, Emmy, thank you so much for joining us and joining us on time. I believe it's like crazy early for you, right? Like 5 a.m., 6 a.m.?
Yeah, it's 5 a.m.
I'm in awe. And in a second, you'll introduce yourself to the team, but I'm so happy that you could make it. All right, we shall begin. Thank you so much, Cody, for joining us as well. Everyone, my name is John. To those who don't know me, I'm excited to kick off this meeting. Recently, we have compiled Destiny and myself. Destiny is my right hand, and we've compiled a list of the previous videos of all of us meeting, and we've been meeting for quite some time. You know how in the beginning of something new, you're like, well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this would last. We've been sticking to it. So I just want to applaud us all about showing up each week. So in a minute, we'll go around and we'll share some updates as to what we've been doing. And let's do the updates so that we can share, I don't know, something personal as well about how we're doing, and then something about our Kickstarter. Then we'll be breaking into consultation time in which people can raise their hands, and then we can dedicate a few minutes to actually going deep. So at the beginning, we're not going deep. I just really want to hear everyone. And we'll go according to the order above. And I'm sorry for, it looks a little bit funny the way that it pasted. But the first is me, and then Richard, then Cody, Corey, Destiny, Emmy, Isabella, Jamie, and finally Teresa. This is what Zoom told me. So good and new for me is that thanks to Destiny, we were able to fulfill the first campaign. Do you remember the mock-up campaign, the one that I did for $5? We were able to deliver on that. And we now have a pre-launch for the new campaign, which is good. One of my commitments a few weeks ago was to put a team together so that I can be held more accountable for progress. And that has been much thanks to Destiny that things are happening well. And in my personal life, I am going to Israel, which I don't. I'm originally from Israel, and I don't align with the politics of the country. But I'm going to my sister's wedding. And I will be traveling probably next week or so. Maybe I will pass the torch for that week, because I do want us to meet. Maybe Cody would lead, or any of you will be leading that meeting, because I would love to watch the recording. So that's new and good as far as I'm concerned. Richard, I'd love to hear how you're doing.
Well, we talked last week about backer swaps. I was able to execute 2 of them. The problem for me, of course, is finding there's not a lot of action and adventure fantasy on Kickstarter. There's a lot of other kinds of fantasy, but it doesn't really align with the action and adventure side of it. But I found 2, and one has, I don't know how many campaigns he's done. It's anyway, he's written 40 books.
Whoa.
And he's been playing this game for a long time. And I just sent him a message and said, okay, I can't offer you a thing. Would you help me out? Essentially, that's what I said, not in those words, because I'm not in a position to help anybody, really. But he messaged me back and said, everybody starts at 0. I'll be glad to help.
That is so sweet.
And I think I got 2 backers off of his post.
Wow.
So I'm pumped. I'm at 92%. I got 10 days to go. So
Good job. Good job. And did you happen to send an additional email to your list?
my what?
I think you mentioned that you will send another email to your own newsletter, to your own list.
Oh yeah, I've sent 2 newsletters this week.
Great. I'm very impressed with you fulfilling your commitments. That's well done.
My good old daddy taught me how to do stuff like that
Well
70
done.
years ago. So yeah, getting stuff done, it's something I've always done.
That's impressive, Richard. Thank you so much. And well done. Next is Cody, and after Cody, Corey.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I missed last week. I was driving up from LA to San Francisco to see some family. I'm back in LA now. The Made in LA campaign is kind of done. Like, I've sent out the rewards for all of the backers whose addresses I have. There's 1 or 2 um, that I just don't have their information, and I followed up by email, and I'm kind of waiting to get it back. But yeah, it's I feel like I'm at the end of the journey for that one. And I'm starting to think about the next one, which will be for my book, my 3rd book, which is science fiction. And yeah, I'm at the very beginning stages of like formulating that campaign in terms of the timelines and what I want to offer and which, formats and all of that stuff. So I've learned so much from this group and from going through it that feel in a good spot for that. But like, I don't know, I still have some doubts about like the size of the campaign and how high I want to, how ambitious I want to be with it. So, as always, I'll be looking for insights from all of you and some encouragement.
Good, good. Thank you. And please remember to raise your hand later on, Cody, because I would like to speak about, pre-launch and a placeholder as soon as possible, even when you have nothing formulated,
Okay.
so that we can support you. And well done on fulfilling a very complex campaign. Very complex, it looked like. So
The great part is all of those boxes of books are now like gone and my office is less crowded.
That's great. Thank you so much. Corey, how are you doing?
I'm great. I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but not see you.
Okay, I'm on my phone. In terms of personal life news, I just got out of terrible traffic and parked in front of my house. So I launched my Kickstarter this week. It is fully funded, which I'm super excited about. I just hit my first stretch goal today, so
Woo!
I'll start doing more stuff with that. Yeah, we can talk more about that later, but I don't necessarily need like feedback right now, but I'm happy to talk about the way that the campaign is going.
We would love to have later on insight as to how someone freaking B manages to get funding in 3 unbefreakingly I'm just like so like mind boggled. So we would love to have you take the mic later on and share with us some insights, okay?
Okay, great.
And well done.
All right, I'm going inside my house now, so hopefully I won't lose you guys.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Corey. And next, Destiny. After Destiny, Emmy would love to have an introduction of who you are and maybe a couple of links if you could share in the chat. So, Destiny, go ahead.
Well, as has been stated, we've actually managed it to pre-launch, which made me very happy. That was the start of my day yesterday, pressing the very blue button, and I'll put in that link in a moment. As for personally, I have managed, and I kid you not, to write like 70 poems in the span of like 5 days. So my creativity is back.
That is lovely. I love to hear about your creativity. That's great. And Destiny, could you share the link for what you were able to create? Oh,
It
that
is
was
now in the set.
That was fast. Okay, great. So you were able to create this placeholder for the new campaign, which is like taking the middle grade novel to the next level, and this will eventually have actual print copies, etc. And if you guys are clicking on it, I want to just take a moment and steal the show, and hopefully this can be educational for all of us. So if you look at John, the personality, John Key's best-selling author, you see that we have 45 backed. Can you all see that in that link? So I do feel a little bit Machiavelli and uncomfortable about this, but if there is a place that I hope to feel comfortable about those things, it's here. Together with Destiny and the team, we thought, based on some recommendation that we had here, we thought of the way that it is being presented is when someone looks or someone appears to be one of the community on Kickstarter, and backing multiple projects looks good. So what Destiny did was to go for the smallest amount possible. I think it's $1 or something like that for like 40 campaigns, just to support them at least nominally, and get that number up. And if any of you is interested in maybe the list of these, because I don't think that you can do that to any campaign. I think it's campaigns that just allow for general contribution, right, Destiny?
To listen, actually, it's any campaign.
It's any
I
campaign.
would.
Any campaign. You can put $1 to any campaign. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right, so yeah, I think, I would love to hear what you guys think. I don't feel like 100% like authentic or good. It doesn't sit like 100% well, but I would love to get your feedback, maybe possibly later on. But well done, Destiny, and thank you so much for your good work, and congratulations on the pre-launch. And next is Emmy. Emmy, would you love to introduce yourself?
Hello. I have multiple names. You also may have seen me on the Discord as Ember May. I write middle grade fantasy as well as cozy mysteries and holiday rom-coms. And I am currently working on my 3rd Kickstarter.
Great. And do you prefer Emmy or Ember or?
You can call me Emmy. Everybody else does.
Right.
It was my first pen name, and when I transitioned over is when I actually had people in an author community and I didn't transfer the name. And I was like, so now everybody just calls me Emmy, and it's fine.
And Emmy, do you mind sharing maybe a couple of links with us, maybe to either previous Kickstarters or to your website or to Amazon, anywhere that can give us a little bit more of a grasp? Because most of us have seen one another, but most of us are new to your work. Okay, so if you can drop that in the next coming minutes, that will be great. Is that okay? And
Yep.
remind me, Emmy, you're like somewhere like really like east and far in my perception.
Guam. I
Say
live in Guam.
Guam. So right now it's 6 a.m.-ish, right?
5 a.m. Yeah.
5 a.m. So impressed with you, and thank you so much for making it to the meeting. And I hope that this will be useful for you, and we'd love to see you every week. Great. Next is Isabella, and then Jamie, and finally Teresa. Isabella, how have you been doing?
I've been good. Yeah, I don't think I've actually been on because we were off for the 4th since we funded. But yeah, we funded fully, so that's great. We are at, let's see, almost close to 14,000 now, I think. So we have our first stretch goal out, which has been great. Um, I've been building out like the pledge manager stuff, and that's probably like my main question for today, I think, is I had set estimates for like the US shipping and Canada, and those are pretty accurate with how I'm looking at it in Pirate Ship. But for some reason, what I'm looking at in Pirate Ship now, it's so much more expensive to ship to the UK than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
So I'm a little bit worried that like I'll have to look through and see how many actual UK backers have backed a physical tier, but it's like $50 for shipping, which is insane. So my question was if anyone has found cheaper ways to ship to the UK when it's has to come from the US. Like I know there's like drop shipping options, but since we'll have everything in the US and we'll need to be sent there.
Great. And maybe Isabella, if you have other questions as well, let's look into that as well. So let's keep that question for a minute from now. But any other question that you have regarding the pledge manager, we have Jamie, we have Corey, we have the team here, so we'd love to help you with that. And well done on funding, and
Thank you.
well done on the campaign. And if you can maybe for the sake of Emmy and possibly Destiny also paste the campaign. Maybe all of us who have either placeholder pre-launch or campaigns that are live, like Corey and Isabella. Let's paste those things in the chat just so that we can all know what we are working on. Thank you,
Hey,
Isabella.
John.
It's great to have you here.
John, if I drop out of this and get back in on my computer, can you let me in again?
Of course. Thank you
Okay.
for asking.
I'll be
Good,
back in
good.
just 1 sec.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jamie, how have you been?
I've been well. For my personal update, we've been working on getting my mother-in-law's old house turned around so that we can get that ready for sale. And that's been a project that my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law and my wife and I have been working on. So that's where I was last Friday. We were working on some chores there. So I'm sorry I missed the call. I also, for Kickstarter news, I'm kind of between projects now. I've fully fulfilled everything back in the end of June, and I'm not really ready to even talk about another project anytime soon. But I'm here to support the group in any way that I can.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamie. That's great, and good luck on getting that house ready. It's sounds like a project. Yeah. And thank you for making it to this meeting. Last but not least, Teresa, how have you been?
I'm good, and I remembered to turn my audio on again this time.
Yes, you did.
So, my day job, I mean, I've been working on my Kickstarter stuff, but my day job is travel writer, and earlier this week I got to go to this absolutely incredible resort in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and called Canoe Bay. Got to stay in a cottage, this 2-bedroom, beautiful place that was designed by a protege of Frank Lloyd Wright. So we were there Sunday through Tuesday, and I'm still kind of on this high from that. Just it was absolutely. They deliver your breakfast, they deliver your lunch in a picnic basket that's handmade by somebody from Ghana, and you can take it anywhere on the property. We got to go kayaking. We had lunch on the dock. We got to go hiking. They've got a 3-acre organic garden. So it's just, I'm still kind of on the high from that. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. And now I get to write about it. So.
It sounds terrible to be a travel writer.
It's absolutely awful. I tell you what though, when I travel just me and it's like, oh, where's the bottle of wine in my room? Where's the cheese tray? So I get a little spoiled, but Anyway,
How fun.
so
How
that was earlier this week, and still kind of recovering from when you were talking about your family, Jamie. My parents were here for a total of 4 weeks, from 3 weeks from end of May through early June. So we're still kind of working through that and getting back into the swing of things. But I think we're there now, especially after this wonderful respite that we had.
great. Great. That is awesome. I just want to ask, and tell me if I want to ask more about the projects, like, so how you're progressing, project-wise.
I did definitely got a lot of stuff work done on the story. I got some graphics updated as well. I'm working on changing my Alex Page series to Travel is Murder. So that's in progress as well. And I've been promoting the pre-launch page some. I seem to be stuck at 23 followers, but I'm sending out another email today, and I'm also working on increasing the story that I'm sharing to get more followers. So that's coming together, and yeah, pulling the photos that I'm going to include in the book. So it's been busy.
Good. And I see that you just shared with us the link to your Kickstarter. Perfect. So maybe we can help Teresa with more followers.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. Great. All right. So let's begin looking at who wants to share so that we can divide some time. So Cody wrote that he'd like to hear about Corey's approach to stretch goals, and I would second that. So we'll have Corey presenting some things about stretch goals and general maybe update about how about launching a campaign so successfully. Who else would like to share? Isabella had the question, or a couple of questions. One about Britain and another technical one. So we have Isabella and Corey, two people. Who else, by a raise of hand, need to have a moment, would like to share? Don't be shy.
Let's see how the time goes.
Let's see how the time goes. Okay, I will have a hard stop at the end, and the people that get to go first usually have the most leisure. So I'm just saying that. Okay, let's begin with Isabella's questions. We'll get them done, and then we'll maybe do some brainstorming with Corey. Go ahead, Isabella. So you asked about Britain, right? Does anyone have experience with shipping to Britain?
No, but I did some research, mainly because of the EU has changed some of their regulations for people that ship to them. And anyway, that's a long story all by itself. But in that research, I discovered that there are people in the EU and in the UK who act sort of as brokers, and they are print-on-demand facilities in all over Europe, controlled by Amazon and Ingram Spark. And it's probably possible for you to hook up with one of these broker, I forget what they're called, but they're kind of like brokers, and they could take over the distribution for you, have them printed locally, and you would avoid all of that shipping.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder, I could look into if it's depending on how many backers we have in the UK, because we're having a company do our special editions that I don't know um if it's possible to do special editions like using like the interior and exterior files they've given us, but that's definitely something to look into. And I do think on that note, like we could probably do our paperbacks at least in the UK locally. That should be pretty easy because there's no like fancy stuff on there. So yeah, that's a good
Who
point.
are
I'll look into that.
Yeah, Isabella, who are you using for printing?
For the special editions, we're doing the influence.
Okay.
And then for the paperbacks, we're just doing like Lulu, print on demand, and we're just having them shipped to Vegas. So that should be pretty easy to figure out how to do that in the UK. Maybe we just won't have any special edition UK backers.
Well, so Book Vault is like the big one that's it's set in that's in the UK. So, and I ordered my proof from them, and I'm sure, and it's got, foil cover, it's got the end papers, the sprayed edges. So I'm sure that they could do all of the stuff that you're talking about. It might be worth pricing their, I think it's called Book Vault Bespoke, and it's actually cheaper if you're shipping within the UK because they have a US facility and a UK facility, but the UK facility is the only one that does the bespoke stuff.
Got it.
So if it did come down to you just ordering like 2 copies from Book Vault UK and sending them out that way, like it might be worth pricing out to see if that would save you money
No,
on
that's a
ship
great
on
point.
costs.
Okay, I'll write down that. Yeah, because I've heard good things about Book Vault. Okay, these are good things to look into. Thank you.
I will
Yeah.
also,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Emmy.
I was gonna say I've used BookVault, and when I did the shipping from the UK to backers, it was like $9. I had 2
Great.
UK backers, and they were the cheapest ones. But yeah, it's a very intuitive system when you're using it also, so that's good as well.
Good, good. And lastly, I'll add, Isabella, if by chance some of them are personalized or whatever it is, you actually need to get the actual copies, I would consider packaging them individually and then sending them in one package to someone in the UK that can then post them individually. Does that make sense? I think it will be cheaper, one package with all of the small packages.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Great. Any other technical question or any tech question at all, Isabella?
I don't think so. I had a suggestion for your campaign.
It was for Teresa, right?
For Teresa's as well. Well, yeah, Teresa's I sent, but for your campaign as well, for your
Yeah,
pre-launch
I
page.
would love.
I'll just paste it in the chat, but I think it might work better to move the wording a little bit so that your title of your book is like the first part instead of Help Kids Remember the Past. And then you could include that in the like byline area.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback on what you are asking? You're kind of giving me the mic, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll do Corey, and then we'll do anyone else. So you guys, I really wanted to consult with you about naming of this project and other projects. Looking around on Kickstarter, sometimes it's the name of the book, but sometimes it's something that grabs the attention a little bit more. So if you all look at the link that Destiny shared, it says help kids remember the past. And that's not the name of the book, but it's kind of a grabber of sorts. And I'm just curious to see if you guys think it's smart or not. Or would you rather just see the name of the book and the name of the book being The Boy Under the Floorboards? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think having what you've got is good because, and that's actually part of the discussion we had with Changing Mind. I think it's good because that grabs the attention more. And from what I've seen from a lot of other campaigns, unless people already know the book title or the book series, then it usually starts with some kind of keyword phrase or something that's going to be a little more that draw people in instead of a title that they don't know as well.
Thank you for that, Teresa. Any other thought, you guys?
Under the Floorboards really doesn't tell you much about the book. It could be anything. It could be anything. But when you add Help Kids Remember the Past, that tells the reader a great deal more about what the book's going to be about than the title. So go with what's going to convey to the reader what the book is about.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm with Isabella. I thought originally it was The Boy Under the Floorboards, and then the team came up with like we need it for it to be more sexy, and we need to tell what it is about. So I'm still kind of on the fence. Corey?
Yeah, I'm with Isabella too. I think that it makes more sense to have it be The Boy Under the Floorboards, a middle grade Holocaust novel, and then, a powerful Holocaust novel based on the true story of survival for kids 8 to 12 to help them understand the past or something along those lines. Yeah, I think what Isabella's written here is really good. I don't know if we've ever heard from Kickstarter directly about what they search index, whether they search index just the title or the subtitle as well. But if this were a subject that I was searching, I would search middle grade Holocaust. Like that would be the search term that I would seek. So
I have a feeling, Corey, that no one is going to search for that. Maybe they will
sure.
maybe they'll search for middle grade. Maybe they will search for middle grade or like kids books. I don't know. Middle grade. I'm just trying to think out loud with you. Maybe the keywords is middle grade.
Mhm.
Or I don't know what
But
YA.
yeah, I think you've done a good job. They always say you want to fill the whole, use all your characters in the title space and use all your characters in the subtitle space, which you've done a good job of both of those. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I'm with Isabella. I think it should be The Boy Under the Floorboards, a middle grade Holocaust novel.
Okay, great. Maybe we'll do some A/B testing at one point. I'm not sure if we can.
Yeah, and you can change all that stuff up until the time you launch.
Okay,
So
great.
I would, oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, whatever you go with, I'm not sure either what the best practice is. I was kind of just going off of what I'm used to seeing. But I understand your point on trying to switch up what you're used to seeing. Um, I think one of the things is to make sure, like Corey is saying with the keyword stuff, whatever you do, not to like necessarily waste any space if you're like repeating keywords. So like I don't think you need to say Holocaust twice. Like right now you have a middle grade Holocaust novel, and then you say a powerful Holocaust novel in your subtitle. So I would switch one of those out with like historical or like get another keyword in somewhere.
Yes, yes, brilliant. Yeah, that's what we should do. That's great.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Corey, share with us some of the success so that we can bask in your glory.
So the last time we talked, I was waiting on feedback from Anthea Sharp, which I got on like basically Tuesday morning when I was planning on launching. And her feedback actually encouraged me to make a bunch of changes to my project. Like,
Last moment.
yeah, I am not a smart person. I do not schedule myself well. I'm constantly doing this to myself where I'm like, yeah, I can totally get it all done in that period of time. Hence why I was still in the car when this meeting began. Anyway, so I made a bunch of changes. So I had added a paperback kind of at the last minute because I figured that might be something that people would be interested in. And it also, the variety of pricing helps to make it, helps to, attract more backers, I think. And, oh, thank you. So I added a paperback at the last minute. And then Anthea said, and I just did a bare bones paperback, and she's like, if you're going to have a paperback, you should make it fancy. So doing that, changing all those images to make the paperback fancy, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of playing around in Canva, and Photoshop and, getting everything set up. I also changed some of my tiers at the last minute. So I ended up launching on Wednesday instead of on Tuesday, which was fine.
You're going very fast, and we actually
sorry.
we want to hear more. So last month you changed your tiers. How come?
Yeah.
What was the change?
So here, I can share my screen and I can show you.
Would be an pleasure. And thank you so much for being so generous with this information. It's
Oh, absolutely.
so great.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So here's my campaign. As you can see here, let me go to view project. Okay. So we'll go to the tiers. All right. So I already had an ebook, and Thea encouraged me to raise the price. I had it at 10. She told me to do it at 15. And then I added this paperback that had the sprayed edges. And she said, price that at 35 to 40. And then that pricing makes this hardcover seem, I think, a little bit more approachable, but also a little bit fancier. It's just like offering a variety of pricing, I think, helps to make people more encouraged to buy things. So I then had these bundles. These bundles are, paperback, ebook, audiobook, hardcover, ebook, audiobook, and I was also encouraged to put the pricing in the story so that people don't have to click over to other screens to see what the pricing is. Because when you're on your phone, you have to click over to another tab to see the tiers. And same thing when you're on your computer, like the tiers are here on the side, but as you scroll down deeper into the campaign, you don't see them as clearly. So I was encouraged to put all the pricing here in the tiers. And then I decided I was originally going to do these bundles with just the hardcover, but then I decided to make a paperback option as well. So that meant I had to change a bunch of these images. I also originally was going to include bookmarks in this, but Anthea encouraged me instead to use the bookmarks to not do as much early bird discounting and instead use the bookmarks as an early reward for the first 24 hours. So I had a bookmark set that was like part of my add-ons that had 2 bookmarks in it. And I made one of the bookmarks into a early bird reward. Anybody who pledged in the first 24 hours gets that bookmark. And those are cheap enough to ship. You can just drop them in an envelope and send them off to even digital backers.
Can you show us where the 24 hours where it was shown?
I actually have removed it now from the story of the campaign, but you can see all of now they're under all gone. You can set up your tiers so that you have the option for the tiers to expire after a certain period of time. So I had them set up to expire after 24 hours. And when I first launched the campaign, there was way more stuff in here. Like there was an image of the bookmarks that said you get it in the first 24 hours. And under the description of each of the products, it said get a free bookmark when you order in the first 24 hours. And I also had right here, I had early bird pricing written here as well. So like I think it was $10 off for these royal bundles and $25 off for these dragon bundles. And so I had all of that included right here. And then I took it out after that first 24 hours was over, just because I felt like it made it look neater. And you can change your story all throughout your campaign, and you're encouraged to do so. Like to mix things up a little bit, to add stuff, to take stuff away. A lot of times you'll see people put their stretch goals right at the top of the campaign so that when you go to the campaign, you can see, oh, so many stretch goals have been unlocked. I have it on my schedule to change my banner tomorrow. And when I funded, I got a email from Kickstarter with some graphics that said like just funded, which is, I'll pop up here. This graphic right here is like the just funded graphic from Kickstarter. I didn't realize that sizing looks so weird, but I'm going to change this tomorrow anyway. Go ahead.
Question about those early bird tiers. So were those kind of separate options that then you like deactivated after 24 hours? How does that like work on the back end?
So I'm showing here, we're going to my reward screen here. And oh wait, sorry, that's the items. Here's the reward tiers. Okay. So I set them up like I I would set up this Royal Bundle paperback, and then I just duplicated it, and then I changed it. I put early bird here, and then I changed the pricing. I don't know if it'll let me edit anything in here right now because it is, but so you have the option, when would you
Okay.
like this reward to stop being available? And I'm allowing late pledges, so all of my regular tiers are clicked on when I manually end this rewards availability. But my early bird tiers, I set the time so that they would end after 24 hours.
Smart.
And it also gives me more advertising opportunity, right? So like
Yeah.
the first day I sent out an email to my mailing list saying the Kickstarter is live, and here's what you can get. You get a free, there's early bird discounts, and you get a free bookmark if you back in the first 24 hours. And then the next day I sent out another email that had like a countdown clock in it that said like you've only got this much time left on your early bird tiers. So I feel like that helped me fund fast. I was originally going to offer early bird pricing on just the paperback. Or I'm sorry, on just the hardcover, like just that hardcover tier. And Anthea encouraged me not to do that. She said discount the highest tiers. If you're going to do early bird pricing, just do, discount those highest tiers, because honestly, most of the stuff in here is not that, in the highest tiers is not that like difficult for me to produce. It's just a matter of printing, and like the more you print of stuff, the cheaper it becomes. And I was willing to like potentially eat into my profits a little bit in order to make sure that I funded really quickly.
So you offered the early bird discounts just for the bundles,
just for the bundles,
not for the individual items. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And we'll scroll down here really quick.
Thank you,
So
Corey,
all
for
of
the question. The question really good job, Cody, for asking the question, because these questions, they get Corey to actually give us the specifics. So that's great.
And the strategy, which is like
absolutely.
directing attention to the like big ticket reward tiers, which is gonna get you to funding faster. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That was my strategy. I had originally, like I said, intended to discount this hardcover version, and Anthea told me don't do it. She said keep that at its regular price, and so I'm happy I did, because a lot of people, ended up purchasing those tiers. So yeah, so all of the like regular versions are still available, but as you can see, the early bird ones now say unavailable. So I took all of that language out, all of the early bird language out of my Kickstarter.
Again, how much was the discount for early bird in the first 24 hours?
It was $10 on this dragon bundle. Or I'm sorry, on the royal bundle. So I have two versions of it, the hardcover and the paperback. And you can see the early bird's 125, the regular version's 135. And then for the hardcover, regular 160, I'm sorry, early bird 160, regular 170. And then for the dragon bundle, which is the biggest bundle, I did early bird paperback for 200, and then regular 225, early bird hardcover for 250, regular 275.
Got it. Thank you. So about roughly what, 7%, 5%, 10%?
Something like that, just kind of depending on it was more like I didn't really want to do a percentage because I wanted it to be nice, round, pretty numbers, more than I wanted it to be like a specific percentage.
That's another useful tip. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just wanted it to be easy enough to be like, it's $25 off instead of, 10% off or something like that. All right, so to go back to the stretch goals. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on. Just scrolling down here really quick. So I've got all my tiers here. And then here's the stretch goals. So I did not put any numerical values on any of these stretch goals because I want to be able to keep them flexible. So like I hit this first stretch goal today, and like I'll email my backers about that, and I'll also include it when I send a newsletter, letting everybody know that we hit this first stretch goal, and everybody will get these digital coloring pages. Huh, did I not save that? I have an image that I thought was in here. I don't know why it's not. Anyway, it's just a picture of the coloring pages, and it's got like a thing emblazoned on it that says locked. And then now that I've hit that first stretch goal, I'm going to go in here. I'll replace this little lock thing with an open lock. And so it's, kind of indicates unlocked. And then I'll have a graphic beneath it that says unlocked, that shows the images and says unlocked. And then I'll send something out that, for this Spotify playlist next. So my strategy for stretch goals, these first two are digital only. So I don't have to pay any additional printing or shipping for either of these. And I already have them. I mean, I don't have the Spotify playlist, but that's something I can put together pretty quickly. The gold foiled bookmark would be something, again, cheap to ship, just to drop in an envelope and send off to wherever it's going. Character interviews are also a digital reward. So I would just do, mock up a graphic with my character pictures and have a couple of questions about, each character and people like that sort of thing. And then the dragon stickers grab bag, again, I would just order a like 500 pack of stickers off of Amazon and grab 10 of them to throw in with every order or whatever. They're flat, they ship cheaply. Bonus NSFW scene, I would just write an extra scene, an extra sex scene. Bonus NSFW art, that would be something that I would have to commission and pay for and print or just do it digitally. I don't know. Like at this point, I don't even really know if I'm going to make it there. So it's kind of one of those things that I put out there that I'm kind of dangling out there as like, yeah, we can get this if we get to a particular level, but I don't even really have a concept of what that level would be. Like to get a new art piece done would probably be like $150. So I would want to make sure that would be something that's worth me doing. Same thing with the novella in audio. I wrote a 10,000 word novella that's being included with this Kickstarter. That's like a brand new novella. And I would have my narrator record that in audio. Again, that would probably be a couple $100. So if I were going to do that, it would be something that I would need to invest in. And then I just throw and more on there as when I come up with extra stuff. So like today I was thinking that it might be relatively easy to like use the art that I already have and make a calendar and use that as a stretch goal, or even just like digital calendar pages that people could print out if I wanted to make it cheaper, or I could make it something I print. So at this point, I was at $2,000 when I sent out the first email about stretch goals. I said the first stretch was at 2,500, which I hit today.
Wow.
And then, so I'll send out another email today, probably saying that like our next stretch goal is through 3,200, 3,250, something like that. Just to push things a little bit higher. I guess in terms of strategy, the stuff that I would talk about is I have been sending backer updates. And I've been sending emails to my newsletter as well. And I'll continue sending at least 3 newsletters a week to my email list. I have a bunch of different things sort of backed up that I can tell them about, so like I think I'm going to redo my video because another thing that Anthea said is because of Anthea's feedback, I needed to change some of the language that was in my video. So I re-recorded the audio, but now the audio doesn't match, and that just drives me crazy. So I think I'm going to re-record the whole thing and so that the audio matches. And but whatever, when I do that, that's another thing that I can send out to my newsletter. I can say, hey, I did this. I got Projects We Love, which I'm super excited about. That's like a thing that Kickstarter, it's like kind of like their staff picks page, but to be honest, like they'll give Projects We Love to a lot of people. So, Richard, that might be a good idea for you. You can email Kickstarter's team and be like, "Hey, I would love to be picked for Projects We Love." And that I did that last time for my last Kickstarter, and they gave it to me. So that's always something that you can, send out and say like, "Hey, I've been named one of Kickstarter's staff picks," and like nobody has to know that you asked them to do that for you. um, and same thing for anybody who's running a Kickstarter. That's something that you can ask them to do for you. But when I change my graphic, I'll put a Projects We Love thing in the corner here, and I'll put another thing in the corner that says like funded in less than 3 hours. And it's on my schedule to change this main image every 3 days, just to keep it fresh on the platform and, potentially attract new people who might otherwise not, and who might not have clicked on it the first time, but with a different image, they will click on it. Isabella, did you have a question?
Brilliant.
No, you just reminded me, with
Yeah.
talking about Anthea and everything, I wanted to check with Richard if he was in the Experience Kickstarter for Authors Facebook group, because they have like a very massive spreadsheet of all these swaps, and it is a lot of romance, but there are some fantasy authors in there. And they have like threads of like each week in like July, and you can share your link and ask people who are also looking for swaps. So that might be a good resource.
Yes.
Okay.
I can drop
Yeah.
the link
And I
as
saw, Isabella, I saw yours in there in those
well. Okay.
threads, and I've shared your campaign. And I also did totally steal your wording around shipping to put in my shipping information. I
Oh,
was just like, copy, paste.
no, that's perfect.
So,
Um, I
yeah.
mean, the shipping is honestly has been the most complicated part of this project to me. I
Well, and
think,
it will like just destroy you, like
yeah,
it can get so expensive.
right. Like if I was paying for as a backer an $80 book and shipping was $50, I would be like, never mind.
Mm.
Totally. I absolutely, there's no way I would go for it, but people
Yeah.
do. So I'm not going to argue with them. I'll take their money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. So we are beginning to wrap up just because I need to I have
Mhm.
another meeting at the top of the hour.
Oh my
Corey,
gosh. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take up this all this time.
I
I
actually
apologize.
I
I
was
didn't.
so in my heart I was so hoping that you would. Um, so I'm like, yes, yes. And listen, I took so many notes. Just like the last note about projects we love, for example. Everything was full of very useful nuggets. So Corey, thank you for being so generous with this information. And
Absolutely.
also Isabella with the link. Good. So you guys, let's begin wrapping up. Maybe we have room for one more comment, but before, let's begin using the chat to decide what are we committing to. What are we committing to? What would be an actual stretch for you so that when we meet next week, same place, same time, we have stretched ourselves because of knowing that this group holds us accountable. Jamie, for example, do you want to think about your new project? Maybe a placeholder for you and Cody. I'm envisioning maybe something, you can change it later on to anything you want, but just somewhere that we can click follow and that you can, you know. So let's write it in the chat.
Well, I'll sneak in one quick comment. Has anyone
As long as people are typing in the chat, you can speak.
is anyone actually produced theme songs for their books?
I never have, but that's an
I
interesting
did,
idea.
and it's incredibly easy.
Okay.
We can talk about it next week.
Right. Richard, if you can give a number to your commitment. Corey, that sounds great. So exciting. Isabella, that's great. Yes, that's awesome, Jamie. I love that, Cody. we can support you in that. I think you deserve that. Okay, and Richard, 2 more swaps. And myself, script for video. Okay, good. Any other comment, anyone, anything that you'd like to share as we wrap today up?
Yes. Corey, thanks a lot for the support. I didn't make the connection between you and Lily.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's me. I don't know. It's the pen name thing is so weird. Like it's hard to. I don't ever think of myself as Lily, but people have called me that before, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
When you showed up, I didn't realize it was you. I'm sure you had mentioned it at some point in the thing, but
No, and Richard, I really appreciate that you emailed me like directly as a thank you for the for backing. That's definitely something that I'm planning on doing at like more towards the end of the campaign. I'm planning on emailing everyone and just giving them a quick like, hey, thanks so much for backing my campaign and helping me get here. So I definitely stole that idea from you. So thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I got the email too, and thank you. It was like, I need to reply to Richard because that was awesome. Can I share my preview page real quickly? Because Isabella, I did make that change very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I know we've got like 3 minutes.
You have indeed 3 minutes. So as long as
Okay.
you're responsible to be ending at 3 minutes, I'm relaxing and
That's a lot of pressure. I don't know. So I
Oh
did
yeah, that's a
change.
lot.
Yeah, I made that darker. And I also, last week I mentioned that because I'm a travel writer, my protagonist is a travel writer. So I did include that, like I moved it higher up based on your suggestions. So if that order works for you guys, I put the basically the story. I've got my trope graphic, the Traveler's Murder mysteries, and then who am I and my story and why travel writing is because Alex is a breast cancer survivor, so am I. So included that, and then I still have a lot of holes to fill, but I feel like it's taking shape.
wow.
Your hair got so much longer.
It's crazy. That was 4 years ago.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's just and yeah, so that's part of why my struggle with doing character art because Alex's hair is growing in each book, so I'd have to have it commissioned for each book because she starts off with the short, hair. It's not quite hedgehog, but so thank you. I just wanted to show you guys that I am doing the work, and thank you for the suggestions because I feel like it is making everything stronger, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, just now reading through about, being a cancer survivor, it's just so inspiring. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I wanted to include, when Alex came to me because I didn't make her up. She just showed up. Being a cancer survivor was important, but not as a woe is me, because I feel like it's been a blessing and I want that to come through in her. And so I hope that comes through in the story in the Kickstarter as well. So, all right, and done.
I think that
Mic drop.
overall, the black text that you have in like your trope card might look better against that background, and the same might go for like all your sub headers and
Okay.
your story page and the main thing. I don't know if other folks agree with that. But I'm happy to look at it if you do like the swap and see if it's easier to read.
Okay.
Or
I
maybe
do.
maybe not like black, but a darker gray that's a little bit warmer than
Okay.
a black, but yeah, something that stands out a little bit more.
Okay.
And maybe
Yeah.
next time, Teresa, you can be the first one to share your screen and to get feedback because I think
All
it's
right.
so valuable. I want to thank you all so much for being here. We're going to meet next week, same place, same time. Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be working with all of you. Thank you for being
Thank you,
free
John.
and
Thank you all so
everyone. Enjoy
much.
your weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.